Hi everyone, thank you for coming back to my channel. As we just passed November 3rd and it seemed like nothing happened, actually, I beg to differ because although there's no huge terrorist attack in US, like let's say Seattle, New York City, or LA, or Golden Gate Bridge, it doesn't mean that there's nothing happened that affects the US or the other side of the world. Remember, the DS is a global cabal. They are a global organization. It's not a US organization. It's not only made in US. So what does that mean? It means other parts of the world, like let's say France, Spain, or Italy, or even Canada, will have the possibility to be under attack. So I understand that the movies or the TV shows show that Seattle is the target area. I'm not saying that it's not, but it may not be now. It's not on exactly November 3rd because sometimes we need to decipher their signals, their messages. Now we are at the end times, we are at the last second, very last second. Somehow we need to know that they will twist a little bit of their strategy, not as straightforward as before, like Notre Dame Cathedral burned down. According to the iPad Go 2, it's very straightforward. I think from, like, let's say 9/11 to Notre Dame Cathedral burned down, the cabal always been straightforward with us. But why? Because at that time, it's not at the very last second. It's not their last straw. Now it is. So they somehow need to twist a little bit of their plots. We can no longer look at only simply the dates that show on the TV show and think that it's exactly that day or it's exactly that city or that location. I think it's more like a combination of the predictive programming from the TV shows or movies. Like let's say, if you watched my previous videos on the false flag, I have just posted two different ones the previous week. I even though I didn't really explain much, but I've left a channel link on the description box. Spongy Paint too, and he is an excellent expert on that. Decipher the TV shows, video games, movies, etc. The mainstream media. And he came to a conclusion that there are actually several locations that the cabal are targeting to. Seattle is only one of them. So Seattle, New York City, Golden Gate Bridge, then London Tower Bridge, Paris Eiffel Tower, or just like simply that city like London. Not necessarily is Tower Bridge, but like it's in London, it's in Paris, and then he's mentioned a lot of different like possibilities in his videos. You can go to his channel and watch his videos. His videos usually very short and strict to the point, so it's not like he is trying to get like publication or like earning money from his platform. I want you guys to know that like some of us on YouTube, we are not looking for publication. We're not looking for money, and I'm not monetizing my videos on YouTube, and I'm not looking for being like a superstar on YouTube, and all of a sudden one of my videos got like viral on the internet. So I just want to spread the words that I've heard, and I verify the information that possibly um, will happen. Then I will create a video and warn the people that watch my videos, not a fear mongering, um, but it's like for you guys to be prepared spiritually, mentally, and physically. What is really coming? I mean, exactly what is coming, we don't know, and we don't know exactly the date and the time, even though it's the enemy. Even though it's from the DS, we don't exactly know, but they only like follow that guidebook, and it's easier to decipher, in this way. But like, remember, like I said, right now at this very moment, we are at the last straw. So they will, of course, continue their guidebook, their attack plans, but there will always be a twist. So let's say recently we haven't had any major, seems like major, what you mean by major accident, major attack? I don't understand why, just a severe storm like tornado or just an earthquake is not major to you guys. To me, it is major, because, those are like, for example, the wildfire in California is a major attack. They're using direct energy weapon to attack. Okay, that's major. So I don't understand like why some people say, "Oh, there's no major attack yet." Hello. Anyway, so I'm not a supporter of finger pointing and calling out people, because you never know who's telling the truth or not, and you never know if that person's intention by telling, you know spreading the information. Sometimes a negative news will have a positive impact, because that's how sometimes God and Father God and Jesus Christ work. They will use the enemy's plans to help us instead of to hurt us. If you read the Bible, you understand what I'm trying to say. So, with that said, I found some information that will solve the enigma of November 3rd yesterday. That's no major attack. I will show you what does major attack mean by the kebab right now at this last second. I can give you a list, like let's say direct energy weapon, weather weapon, accident, just like a limited small scale accident, or a small scale mental issue, disaster type of attack. Why they've been using it ever since like the past few months? Because they want to build up some scenarios to have the people that who are asleep to agree with them, like let's say gun control. So they've been just using like a small scale attacks, right, for the past few months, at least for the past 2 years. Small scale attacks by a gun shooting attack here and there, but it's not major, and the weather weapons, obviously wildfires, earthquake, exactly like with the direct energy weapons, that looks like to a lot of people who are asleep is just the weather, because there's a climate change, concern. So people that who are asleep will agree with the kebab more. because of the wildfires and the earthquakes. And the blackouts. The blackouts in another attack because that's the beta test right now, like all over the world, here and there, different cities, one at a time or like a several at a time. But they blame on the weather, climate change, etc. And also, that's one more for the economy, is the bank run. So obviously, the past few weeks, I think that within a month or two, there have been a few bank runs in different countries and different cities, you can say. Like let's say in India, in Lebanon, and in Hong Kong, and recently is in U.S. here, uh, by the Bank of America. And those are the beta tests for the economic collapse globally. So why they've been doing that is desensitize the mass public. It's normal. Once a while, the bank will shut down. It's just because of the protests, or it's just because some glitch happen in the technology, the system. Is just normal. Once a while will happen, and they will never prepare for the economic collapse because they thought that's normal. That's called desensitize the public that who are asleep, not us. We are well aware of what they've been doing, at least for the past few months. They increasingly orchestrated small scale disasters, no matter it's naturally or by human, like mental issue, shoot people with their guns or stab people with their knives, etc. So that's like really consider gun control, and a lot of people that who are asleep, they of course they rooting for this general rule to be imposed on on us, on everybody. I'm happy that there are a lot of people with different expertise creating YouTube videos to warn the mass public in different areas, such as Dutch Sense, Blue Kool-Aid, and other scientists on YouTube constantly giving out earthquake information or solar system CME information to us, that what's coming, what we will be facing in the next few days or next month or so, like in the near future. And then on the other hand, people that have expertise in decipher the cabal symbolisms or communication system, decipher the movies, TV shows, etc., to give us an idea of what their plans will be like. Although it's not exactly as straightforward as it used to be, but at least we have an idea of there will be an attack, around those days or near that area or actually within that country. After this introduction, you will see the first news is blackout in France, Spain, Italy, and Canada for the past weekend on actually yesterday because of the storm. So in France, like let's say I've alert you guys on Paris, or according to Spongy Pan's analysis, he said like Eiffel Tower in Paris, France is another target on the list for the cabal. So it's not exactly like the Eiffel Tower, but it's like the Paris area, or actually it's a general France, the country. Um, Later, after this introduction, you'll know what I'm talking about. Also, according to the Bible, if we know that something is going to happen within that time frame, or within that area or within that country, we need to warn, we need to alert people, not because of we want to generate fear, it's because we want everybody to be prepared. Something might be coming within the next few days instead of that one particular day, because like I said, we are at the last very end before the tribulation. So the DS, they will twist a little bit of their plots. Last but not least, yesterday there are two YouTubers. I really want to say thank you to both of them, even though a lot of people say they are fear mongering and keep saying yesterday, November 3rd, the cabal will attack Seattle. One of the YouTubers actually create a prayer video to have everybody pray against the enemy. With that said, we are the YouTube community. Stand together. United we stand. We stand together to pray against any cabal attacks. No matter if it works or not, hey, I don't know. But yesterday, Willie, maybe we minimize the casualty, minimize the weather weapon in France, Spain, Italy, and Canada. Will minimize the people that suffered by those storms. You never know, but we actually united together and pray against the enemies. So I think that's a good thing, and that's what Father God and Jesus Christ want us to do. Instead of fear mongering and pointing fingers at each other, say, hey, you shouldn't have said that, or, to generate fear. I feel touched yesterday. That's the ultimate solution when we united together. Okay, so let's get started with the video.